friends, welcome back to my channel. So today it's going to be a little tutorial on this like bronzy spring summer makeup look. I'm going to walk you through every step of the way. I swear it's super easy and anyone will be able to do it. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so my skin is already prepped and primed, so I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It's just a good everyday foundation to wear. Super affordable drugstore brand, and I'm just going to apply that from the inside of my face and working my way out. For my next step, I'm going to take my Morphe concealer in shade, I believe, 1.15. I'm really just going to highlight the parts where the sun would hit, so that's right under your eyes. Okay, and the reason that I'm bringing it all the way out, not quite to my hairline, but pretty far, is because I really, when I contour, I want my cheekbones to really look
snatched.
Now I want to just go kind of like the center of my forehead. I've seen some people who really take it far out. I don't like to do that. I like to kind of keep it as small as possible, and then with my beauty blender, you'll see I blend it out. Because if I just if I put it everywhere at first, my concealer, when I blend it out, would end up going way farther up on my forehead than I want it to. I'm going to connect it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it down the bridge of my nose. And I have a really unique nose. So the way I contour my nose is going to be kind of tailored to me. No one's face is 100% symmetrical. So yeah. These are the places I'm going to highlight. And I'm going to blend these out with my beauty blender. And you see what I mean? Like, this is really blendable. Like, you can really kind of like move this product around with your beauty blender where you want it to go. So like, this is kind of what I was talking about in regards to like my forehead. Even though I stopped with the product right here, when I use my beauty blender, I can really pull it out all the way to my hairline. Also, I'm really sorry my hands look crazy. I tried to like put on self-tanner, and it just turned my hands orange, but it'd be like that, so it's fine. I'm going to take the little bit of foundation that's left on the end of my beauty blender and kind of just blend out the rest of it. And as for my nose, it's going to be the same thing that we've been doing. Tip of your beauty blender, keep it where you placed it, and then I'm going to take the end of it and kind of just finish blending it out. Alright, so for the next step, I'm going to bake or set my face. I get a lot of questions about this, and as far as what products to use and how it works and everything else. So I use the Morphe translucent setting / baking powder. This is one of my favorites. The Laura Mercier one I adore, but if I'm going to be honest, it's a little expensive. So as far as an everyday look goes, for something a little bit more simple for the summertime or spring, I wouldn't use that. Morphe is super affordable and I rave about it. I mean, you really get your money's worth. A lot of people ask me, like, what does it mean to bake? So pretty much what you do, and we're going to do it together, you're going to take your, like, setting powder. Everyone does it differently. Some people I know put it on a brush, and that's totally cool. I use my handy dandy beauty blender. And you're gonna pretty much go the same places we just highlighted with our concealer. And what this does is it sets your wet or cream products so that way you can blend with bronzers and blushes and things like that. If you're like me, I use all powder products when it comes to contouring and my blush. But what this does is it sets your cream products, and then it also brightens. So the longer you leave it on, the brighter it gets. So what I like to do is I like to put it here. I'm going to let it chill in those spots, and I'm going to fill in my brows. So people get really picky about their brows, so don't come at me for the way I do mine, but I take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and I use shade Soft Brown. Some people say that this like dries out for them, and in my experience, as long as you put the lid on immediately after you're done using it, it shouldn't dry out. Also, makeup does expire, so this has an expiration date, not a date, but after 6 months, toss it. Every makeup product that you get will have a little like can symbol, and then it'll say how many months you can use this for. So this is 6 months, so if you're using it after 6 months, like chances are it's just bad, it's just gone bad. It's time to toss it. It's old. That might be why it's drying out. But I love this product. There's a reason that everyone uses Anastasia Beverly Hills brow products. It's because they're really great. My brows already have a naturally pretty good shape to them. All I really have to do is fill them in and add a little bit of an arch, because that's the main thing I'm lacking. So a trick to doing your brows, I'm sure you've seen it all over social media, you use your nose. So you use the tip of your nose and you go on either side of it, and wherever your brush hits is where your brow should start for each side. And same thing, where once you tilt your brush, this is where your arch should be, and a little bit more, and that's where the tip of your brow should be. So that's how you do that. Also, when I was in beauty school, one big thing that we would always say whenever we would wax each other's brows or fill them in or whatnot is they're sisters, not twins. So literally they don't have to be perfect. Okay, sorry. So now that I've kind of given that shape and filled that all in, I'm really just kind of doing small strokes. I never used to fill my brows in until probably, oh god, I don't know, like a little over a year ago. Granted, I've only really been doing makeup for about 3 years. But yeah, I started filling my brows in like a little over a year ago, and what a difference. Like, I used to think that like filling your brows was just unnecessary and like no big deal. Like when the whole brow craze was happening, where everyone was like doing those really harsh like blocky brows, and like it was really a big deal. I didn't. I thought it was silly, but now I'm like, brows are so important, and I really walked around with like a full like face of makeup and no brow. I looked like a clown, like a fool. Okay, so now that my brows are filled in, I gotta lock them in place. Don't want these bad boys moving anywhere. So, same thing, Anastasia brow gel. Get all up in that. And brush the brow hair in the direction that you want it to go. So, you know these little hairs? We want these bad boys to stick right on up. You know? Stand up. We want these bad boys to just kind of like lay down. Now that our brows are done, let's get back to the face. And I still have a little bit of product on my beauty blender, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of bring the product down and set the rest of my face. So now it's time to contour. Now I'm going to take my Morphe highlight and contour palette. This is some of their lighter shades, so we're going to rock out with those. I'm going to do a combination of this shade right here and this one, kind of go back and forth between those two. A lot of people make the mistake of going straight in with their brush right here at the hairline. And a lot of times what happens is you end up with like this brown spot right here, and it never usually like blends out right. So I take my brush and instead of doing it directly onto my skin like so, angle it a little bit, so you get a little bit of a softer blend, a softer application. So now it's time for blush. Because I'm going for like a spring summer look, I'm going to use one of my shimmery blushes that I have here. So I'm going to use this one right here, and I'm going to put my blush right above my contour and even just blend it down into it a little bit. Don't be afraid to get like a little heavy-handed with it. Now I'm gonna move in and start doing my eye makeup, which is pretty much what you guys came here for, right? So I'm gonna start off by taking my concealer, going back in with that, and applying it right on my lids, creating a nice little base for your shadows. Okay, so for my eyeshadow look, you're really only going to need 3 brushes. The Morphe M532 brush, which is this big boy. Morphe E17 brush, which is a little bit smaller. Last but not least, we're going to use our Morphe M506 brush, which is a smaller tapered eyeshadow brush. And we're going to dip into this shadow right here. What we're going to do is we're going to just put this color in our crease, and we're just going to do small circular motions and blend it out to probably the tip of our eyebrow. So I'm going to stick with my larger fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into a bit of a warmer brown. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm not going to blend it as high up as the yellow, so I am going to bring it a little bit farther down on my lid, but I'm going to follow the same shape. Is I'm going to take my Morphe E17 brush, and I'm going to go in with this brown shade right here. And now I'm really just going to focus on the outer corner of my eye. just like that. I'm going to go back in with my larger brush. I'm going to blend out any of those harsh lines. Be careful not to overblend. I feel like a lot of people tend to blend their eyeshadow so much that you lose that dimension, you lose the contrast of the colors. So now I'm gonna grab a black eyeshadow shade. And I know that sounds really intimidating and really scary. I'm gonna use my smaller brush, by the way. But it's not as bad as it sounds. So I'm just gonna take that. I'm gonna go right on my lash line. Kind of just smoke that out a bit and work that out into the crease, the outer corner, and buffer that up into the crease a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a gold shimmer, and I'm just gonna go in with my finger. And I'm going to apply that all over my lid. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Stila liquid liner, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a wing. Okay, so now that I have my winged liner on, I'm gonna go in with my crayon liner, and I'm gonna put this on my waterline. Okay, so I'm just gonna be using regular strip lashes. These are just Ardell lashes. They're super comfortable, super light. You can get them at any drugstore, or even Ulta sells them and everything like that. They're super inexpensive. I want to say they run for about like anywhere from like $5 to $15. And then I also have these. These are my individual lashes that I will place on the bottom. Okay, so my lashes are on, and while they dry, I'm going to fill in my lips. Now that my lips are filled in, I'm going to go in with like a nudie pink color. Just apply it on the center of my lips, and then I'm going to take my finger and kind of just blend that out. Just like that, and then I'm going to take a gloss and go over it. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go in with a cream highlighter and go over my cheekbones. And now I'm going to go in with my Ofra powder highlighter with my fan brush. Get in there. Just go over the places I just hit with my cream. Okay, and then that's our finished look. It's pretty simple. I know it sounds like a lot of steps, but I swear, once you're doing it and you get it down, it'll take you only like 25-30 minutes. If you like this kind of video and would like to see me do more tutorials, definitely let me know. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much guys for tuning in and checking out this look. But until next time, thanks for stopping by.